Ok, attends. Ouais, tu le vois? Je pense que c'est en train de faire le Facebook Live. Une seconde. Okay. I think we're good. Kat. Okay, let's start. I'm assuming that we are streaming live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our weekly broadcast. Sorry for the delay. We had a bit of tech problems. But since our subject for today is flowing in the current of life, I think it's very apropos, as we say, dealing with obstacles that life presents to us. So to put you a little bit in perspective, you know, of why this subject, yesterday I was meditating yesterday morning, and Catherine, who is one of our tribe members, kind of energy was really with me, and I was just really feeling the call to invite her to our session today. So I dropped her a line, and we were both really in tune with the subject, which is the flow of life and being in the current of life. So life just manifests the way it must, right? So here we are, both of us. Hey, Kat.
Hey, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Yay. Thanks for being with us. So Kat has been a tribe member for more than a year. She's part of our intense program, 6 months program, which is still ongoing. And she's been journeying with us and evolving through the container and through her life and the medicine that we are all journeying together in. So Kat, I'm going to be flowing with you today, asking you questions and really wanting to give you the space for the wisdom in your body to come out as it wants to come out, and sharing your experience in the flow and in the current of you know whatever we're going through all together. So let me ask you this first question, which is, when did this call for authenticity start for you, and what propelled you to join us on this journey?
When you were talking, I felt my womb contracting really into unfolding in this container. So the first time authenticity really knocked on my door, I remember vividly, it was 10 years ago. And I was just in a position in my life where I was close to burnout and really not connected to my inner being, and my nervous system was just like telling me like this is not working, this is not aligned, and then I chose the value of authenticity at that time, and then it just, for me, it was a long flow to accelerate to 5 years after. And then things just started unfolding with different, teachers and medicine, and kind of always digging deeper into the wisdom of myself. And every time I would feel, oh, this is where I have to be, that's it. And this would always happen in safe containers, in places where, the judgment drops and there's no performance, and it's a different structure, it's a different system. It's not in the day-to-day normal, like it's not in a school or at work. It would always be in a different kind of like sacred space that I would touch that and go back to my normal life. And then at first it was hard to go back and forth. And then the more you devote yourself to, okay, this is it, I'm doing it again, and I don't know what's gonna happen, and oh my God, this is crazy, like I'm so afraid, or I'm shaking inside, but it's like a huge yes, it's a huge, like, I want more of that, like feeling like, I look at myself in the mirror and I see my eyes and I see presence, like I see like, this is me. And, like, I want to stay with that. So I think for me, it was just saying yes to small yeses and then trusting that the right people appear and the right spaces appear, and always being real, and always be fully myself, you know, no, not play games when those spaces are there.
So what would you share with the audience, well, with the audience or the community that we are in right now, of, you know, what do you find behind the fear of the unknown? Because I know many are scared to jump on a path like this, of path of authenticity and path of, you know, really connecting deeper to who we are. And there's a lot of unknown factors. Actually, it's an unknown path. Everybody has their own unique path, and we flow in that current of yes, right? So what would you tell them about resistance? What have you learned about resistance, and what you encounter behind the resistance that many can feel?
So much things are coming up. I don't know how to sort it out.
What does your womb say?
I think that I want to say, don't fool yourself, you know, like, you know, it's a yes, you know, like, I've resisted so much things in my life, and it just brings so much pain and suffering. Really, it's not necessary. You don't have to do this to yourself, you know. I think about my kids when they want to cry, they just cry, you know, and then it lasts for 5 minutes, and after they just move on, you know. So just say yes, even if it's no, and then it opens up, you know. It's kind of accepting that part of yourself that resists, and sometimes, you know, you even just like take care of yourself, and that, you know, like, give yourself love and say like, it's gonna be all right. I'm really pretty, you know, pretty damn scared, but it's gonna be all right. And the more I it's a relationship. It's really an intimate relationship with myself, but also with life, that it's okay, the more I nourish it, the more it gives back. And sometimes you can also ask for signs, or, you know, for just like, so many times I've dropped down on my knees, like, and I can think of specific moments where I said, please help me, this is too much, I can't handle it, I can't do it on my own. It's just like, and it's kind of like to also humble ourselves and say, we are, you know, we're so small in the universe, and there's something so much bigger, and just trust that, you know, if it's pulling you so much in this direction, it's because you have to say yes and just go. Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen?
It's our worst enemy is our thoughts, you know, right? That's the worst. That's, we get hooked on our thoughts and addicted to those behaviors in our mind. So would you say that, and you know, bridging it with the embodiment practice that we do, that, you know, I want to speak into grounding and embodying and resiliency of the nervous system, and the importance of, you know, when we receive life force and a new door opens for us, which you've been experiencing, and last week you showed up for the sharing circle, which brought a new like impulse of life also, which I'm basing this on what you shared with me earlier. How does grounding in your body and grounding on Mother Earth helps to sustain that life force, that current, which is kind of electricity, and how does it help our body to sustain that energy and to show up in our gifts? It's a big question, but go with what
no
comes.
It's not, it's just, it's so powerful. I was just thinking about that during my practice this morning. I felt so in tuned with connecting to the ground, and it's such a safe place when you ground yourself in that practice. It's kind of saying over and over to yourself and your deep, you know, deep inner being in your body, and saying like, it's okay, you're safe, you know, like, you're safe here, and you can always come back here, and you can come back. Like, sometimes I do the child pose like 20 times a day if it's going to be a day that I have anxiety, or, you know, that I'm being challenged, or I have resistances, but there's always a place where it can like be disconstructed. It just
Constructed.
falls down. Yeah, it's just like it's an illusion, you know. So the practice in itself is, remember the first time I practiced, my body just wanted more, and it was like I would wake up at night and be like, oh my god, I have to go back and do the mini squat. And it, you know, I was working in the corporate world in a contract last year, a year ago, and I would go to the bathroom and do the the mini squat, and you know, like just like
I remember when you were sharing this. Yeah.
yeah, and I remember like Place Ville-Marie, you know, a big
Corporate district.
corporate, yeah,
District,
that's a
yeah.
corporate office in Montreal. So the practice is, it's such a huge gift when you give yourself that space, and it takes also discipline and courage and dedication to your own self, because sometimes you just don't know, and some days it's harder than others. And so what's helpful is sometimes I you know, the days that my practice doesn't flow, I can watch some of your videos, or connect to some sisters of the group, and you know, do a live stream in our close circle, and then the energy starts flowing again. Then I'm just, oh, I'm nowhere near where I was 10 minutes ago. And it just kind, you know, it moves on, it just passes. Where, you know, years ago I could stay in a down for 2 weeks, you know, you know, trapped in my own head of fears and judgments, and you know. So now this is like, it's just so powerful, all of those tools that I mentioned, to really shift the awareness, shift the thoughts, shift the energy, and really just like surrender. Like the image of the river, you know, the river that came was a very powerful one, and sometimes the flow is strong. And um I'll just keep going because it's coming to me. But last week, after we did the sharing circle, it really was a moment, for me, where I nourished that faith in the current and in myself at the same time, and it was just such a big relief. And then I just followed the flow, and it just brought me so high. And you know, I started manifesting and creating, and then the weekend happened, and I was like, whoa, okay, that was crazy. You know, whew, okay, can my system handle that? And you know, I just took time to like reground and rest. And it's okay, there's waves, and there's ups and downs. And you know, it just sometimes, you know, like you always say, you want to go back to neutral, you know, and kind of like don't get too crazy high either, you know, like stay grounded even if it's high, you know.
Integrate. That's what we call it. So the integration part of a door opens, the energy starts releasing. We see the potential, but grounding and integrating, so ourselves really absorb the new reality, which is starting to be creating for your life a new structure. That your body is shifting in a new reality because we have said yes to the doors to open, which is really the magic of saying yes. Everything that you're sharing is aligned with, there's magic when we say yes. And I have shivers when I share this. It's just so surprising. Like wherever we are on the path, we just keep being surprised. We're like, okay, yes, there's really something. Like let's keep on going. Let's keep actualizing ourselves. I love naming it like this. Is there something that I know time flies by, you know, but first of all, let me ask people who are watching, if some people are watching live stream from the Facebook group, do you have any questions that you'd like us to address right now? I'll just turn on my my Facebook right here and check it out. So I'm gonna give a small window. Type in your question. Let me go and refresh my my feed here. Let's just jump onto the group and see. We have comments. I mean, Melissa and Leah are here throwing hearts and saying hello. But if you have questions, there's a small delay, but Celine is saying so powerful. Thank you, ladies. Don't hesitate. If you have questions and we're not live anymore, we'll just be in the group where the community is all together in there. So again, feel free. And before we kind of go to closure, Kat, is there kind of a word of closure like that comes from your, I don't know, your gut feeling or your intuition that you would like to share with our community?
Well, there's this image that's been with me since yesterday, because I started bleeding, and it just reminded me how, for the woman who gave birth, and how, there's contractions and openings, and that's kind of the flow of life too, where, the first time I gave birth, I would not receive the contractions. I was resisting, and it took me so many days to release and really open, to let the flow of life, and to allow that baby to be born. And for me, that's really what it is, like, there's only so much resistance, like the baby wants to come out, there's only one way, is to let the contractions come in, and it does hurt, but then life flows. So yeah, it's a strong image, but it's really just allowing. I think the word to close of inspiration is allowing. Just allow it to surprise you, allow it, that flow of life, to come and give you that, that softness and that relief, and just you're gonna want to taste it again.
I love the analogy of giving birth and everything that you're sharing. It's so true. It's this. We are designed to give birth, to co-create with life force. And when we resist, the pain persists and the contraction persists. But when we say yes and the doors open,
My second baby was much smoother, so it gets easier.
the baby comes out, and it's gonna serve its purpose. We are space holders, right? After, I mean, it's a huge topic. We could really enter motherhood and the whole birthing process, but I think we'll go live another time, maybe with subject like those, or have maybe a sharing circle on this. But it's giving birth, co-creating with life, saying yes to the flow of life. I hope it opens doors for you, and I hope you have shivers as I have right now, saying yes to everything that's being shared. And again, don't hesitate if you have questions. I'm going to be posting the link to jump on a call with us if what we've been sharing hit something in you, if you feel a resonance, if it's a yes inside that you can tap into. Don't hesitate and jump on a call. We won't bite. We are here to support. And if there's a resonance, we'll be sharing about that next cohort sacred container that's going to be launched in November. This is not going to be promoted on medias. It's really a sacred container. It's only by call that you have the opportunity to get to know about this invitation. But by all means, if what Kat just shared, if what we just shared resonates, I'll be putting my link, our link, and you can jump on a call with us. All right, so let me just go and grab this right now. I'm going to check also if you have questions. I'll be putting the link here. So it's in the comments. I've opened spots for between Friday and next Friday. So go ahead and choose your spot if it resonates. All right, so there's no questions. Oh, Sarah is here. In that moment of birth where you want to contract but are called to release open, how did you move into this? Past the resistance, through breath, saying yes. Powerful question, Sarah. Powerful question. So, Kat, do you want to answer the question?
I remember specifically when I was on the call with you, and I was resisting saying yes to the container, but also I think what I touched inside of me, that place that was calling me really deep, and to just like a new level of ground that was yeah, that was just supportive, and I just knew I had to go there. I just knew it. I just knew that I was willing to do the work because I was being called, and because I know what I stand for and I know who I am, and I knew that I was called to do this work, and I knew that it's work.
Work, yeah. It's work, and the work is really in surrendering. So what Sarah was asking also is about the giving birth process too, and it's about surrendering. There's breath. We are, you know, if you women are curious about giving birth, really giving birth to a baby, just don't hesitate to post us to post questions on the group. We are a bunch of mothers who have carried life inside their belly and who have gone through birthing, whether it was natural or not natural, but always tuning into life force. So like, just to answer your question, Sarah, really, yes, I mean, connecting to Mother Earth, surrendering, feeling the breath come into your belly and surfing the waves, the contractions that we call, but surfing those waves and entering into that infinite space of presence inside your temple, your body. I think Catherine would agree with me on this. When the baby pushes, it's we have to get out of the way, like she shared, and that's also a lesson for motherhood, right? Getting out of the way of it's a huge topic. I mean, we could really have another half-hour conversation on this, but I think we'll I hope it answers the beginning of your question, Sarah, on when the baby pushes. So when life is pushing through you to give birth, it's a matter of surrendering, getting out of your own way, breathing deep into your belly, into your womb, to trust Mother Earth and to trust your heart.
Trust
Go ahead.
all the women that gave birth before you and connect to their strength. You know, all the mothers and the grandmothers, and connect to that strength of women who've been giving birth for millennials. You know.
We are designed like this, right? It's a matter of trusting back nature, and it's not, yes, it's trusting back nature. And I think it's so crucial, especially nowadays in this year. It's such a huge planetary shift. I think it's to remember this intrinsic wisdom that we all hold inside is, I mean, it's so important, because it's there, it's there, it's there behind the conditionings. So thank you a lot, Kat. Let me just verify quickly if there's another question here. I think, yeah, Melissa has a question. What about when you say yes, but the baby you thought will be there is not? The beloved project doesn't work. It's a beautiful question, Mel. I'll just answer quickly this. Giving birth, it's not about being attached to our baby. It's giving birth, it's being in the current of life, and something is co-created with life every single moment, and it serves a purpose. So we have ideas, we channel ideas from the divine, let's say, and then it's channeled through our body going into our womb, and then the structure gets placed around us for the baby to be carried out in the world. And sometimes it will last 1 minute, 1 year, 10 years, and we just don't know. And that's the beauty of the path. Our duty is to get out of our own way in the flow of life, give birth every single moment. We are giving birth to words now. We are tuning into an intuition of what wants to be shared on that platform. We don't know how it's going to serve. And every time a word comes out of our mouths, we are detached from it. We're not thinking about what we just said. So that's being creative. We just don't know. So the best advice is keep on being in the pleasure of co-creation, of giving birth, and whether the baby comes out or not, learn, grow, and keep on going. It's like our kids. They are our kids, but they are here to serve their own purpose. We cannot stay attached to them, right? It's a beautiful subject that you just brought, and we'll keep on going. We'll keep on weaving the subjects that were raised up today, and I think we're really on a string here of I really feel it in my guts. So thanks for bringing those subjects up and questions, girls. All right, So we're half an hour in the conversation, and not that it's about time, but we're going to close it here. Thanks so much, Kat, for showing up in your medicine and sharing with us today.
For having me. Thanks for everyone watching.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks community for being present with us. We're all together in there. So keep it up. All right. Chat to you soon. And check out the link if you want. Bye.